Can you believe it?
Can you believe that our last video broke 76 views?
All right.
Last time I checked, it was 78.
I was going to say. Yeah.
Sorry, I was just saying it's the little victories. Because,
It's the little things.
actually, it's a big defeat. Because our video with the most views is over a couple hundred.
Yeah.
So anything less than that is a defeat.
I was about
Mostly
to say,
defeats.
can you believe that we're here again recording, and what I mean by here is sitting in front of a camera, not this location, because we're always in a different location, right? Everyone knows that. But what I was going to say was we're here in front of a camera again for the second time in the same calendar year.
Oh, yeah, right.
In the same rolling year. 12 months. And that
Actually, not only
deserves
that, we're in
a
the
cheer.
same fiscal quarter. That's not true. I think we're in the second quarter.
Fiscal.
Yeah. Let's see. January, February, March. Yeah, we didn't do one in the same quarter.
Chat, how many booms does that deserve?
No.
How many booms? Bro.
Sorry about your brother that died. He
That
gets
just-
5 booms. You seen that one?
Yes, dude.
That's pretty great.
I'm like, why are these guys on Cameo or whatever? Who's hiring these guys on Cameo?
Many.
You're probably
They're
right.
making probably mad bank. Really, because they're pretty popular, and people will be signing them up just as a joke.
Sure.
Because, they're... You know how memes and jokes go. They become cringe and ironic, but then people enjoy them ironically.
Is anyone
I didn't say that
enjoying
right.
that? I guess ironically, yes. Yeah, you're right.
We just did.
Yeah,
we
okay.
just enjoyed it
You're
ironically.
Right. Ironically, yeah. I forget what that word means. What
That
that merd means.
Are you a Mert 1 or a Mert C?
All right.
That's
I'm not a C.
Okay.
I can be a 1 though. All right.
No one knows what that means, and they don't have to. So
that deserves 5 booms.
we
Anyway.
have this actually right here might be our spot that we continue to shoot from, because it's pretty well set up. It's pretty well lit.
Speak into the future, Michael.
Huh?
Speak on it.
I'm
into
claiming
the
it.
future.
This is prophecy. I'm proffing,
Name
as
and claim.
they say.
Blab and grab.
As they say in the biz. What?
I said name and claim. Blab and grab. You know?
Is that one they say?
What do they say?
Is that one Jamie
Hortify
Dixon
and
says?
fortify? No, I don't know what that
What?
means. Dude, I don't know what I'm saying, dude.
No, this might actually be a spot. But
You know, that could be an alternate song name to This Is the Place. This might actually be the spot.
well, we have an unreleased episode. I don't know if we've ever told this story. And I think I want to.
Do we actually? I know you said that the last time, but
Did I say that the last time about what I'm about to say?
we have an unreleased episode. But do we?
Yeah, we do. The one from the hotel.
Oh, yeah. That was what? That was 3 years ago at this point.
No.
4.
2021.
Yeah, 2021. Before I was married. It was the summer of 2021. You know how I know?
Because you lived in a hotel that year.
It's pretty hard to forget, actually.
Okay, so one of the first things we ever shot, I want to give some context. It wasn't the first thing, but it was one of the first things.
Yes.
My friend here of many years, he was, there was a scramble. He had to move out quickly.
Hence why the only reason you ever live in a hotel is a scramble. Is due to some sort of a scramble.
I don't know if I need to get into all the things, but
Nah.
Abe had a scramble. He had to move out of where he was fairly quickly. And
Bro, why is it always a scramble with me? Something's up with me. I'm scrambling. I'm constantly in a scramble.
you need the proverbial fire up in order to get things done.
I'm gonna act like I didn't hear that.
Which is not unlike many people.
Sure.
So it's the way it goes. I didn't say all this
That's
to
the way she goes, boys.
cast judgment. I'm saying it was a scramble. You had to move out. Had you had some prudence,
I wouldn't have moved
it
into
wouldn't
a
have
motel.
it wouldn't have been a scramble, but you ended up moving into a hotel for a plurality of days.
Bro, and you know what's the worst? Okay, go ahead.
I'm just
Let
going
you
while
finish.
I'm leading to is that it was during this time we were shooting our first things. I won't even call them episodes. We never released them. But if you think we're cringed now of what we released, you should have seen what we were shooting then. Anyways,
There was a constant of the friggin' air conditioner in the hotel because it was
Right.
July.
there was I remember there being one clip. There was like one bit that we had in that. It had something to do with Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
That was kind of funny.
I don't know if it was funny or
But
not, but
I thought it was. And so I bring up all that to say we have shot in so many places. Your house in Waterville, we shot. I think the
most consistently, yeah. And then there was Jesh's
at
your
where
house.
I'm living.
Yeah, I shouldn't say his name, but
We've said his name because he's edited it before, and I've said, "Leave this in, Jesh." No, hey, take this one out, Jesh. No.
so everyone knows Jesh without seeing him.
Okay.
Anyway,
It's been transient to use a foot long word, a meter long word. Transient.
mm-hmm.
That has been our episodes. Not only have they been in different places, but when they have been in the same place, you wouldn't know it except for the bookshelf. But if you remember each one, it's like we have a different setup. Like the bookshelves are at a
Yeah.
different angle. We have
Keep 'em
different
guessing.
couches.
You know.
It's inconsistent.
All right.
But all of that again to say maybe this will be the spot.
This might be the spot. And even if we do shoot here again, it'll look different because we all
Because maybe
Change it
we'll
up,
have
dude.
more camera angles. There's a possibility that we might
That's crazy.
have up to 3 different angles.
Sounds pretty crazy. But anyway,
was-
you don't
the-
you don't need to know this because
The
you only
mediocrity,
see one right now.
the mediocrity that's going to be captured with 3 different angles will be it will be undisputed.
Well, let me just say this. Man, I can never forget that summer in a hotel because
That was a heck of a year in
it
general.
Yeah, it was a heck of a year. I got married that year, so that was a cool thing.
A lot of things.
Probably the coolest
even
thing that
besides
happened.
Well, that was right.
I also went to Hawaii that year. I also, bro, let me just mentally recap that year, 2021. All right, I'm pretty sure I got COVID like everyone for the second
Yeah,
time.
I get
Whatever.
it. That year.
Was
March.
working at T-Mobile in a call center. Also was working from home at that time because of COVID. But then I couldn't work from the hotel because there was no like Wi-Fi set up for me because I needed to be hardwired and that wasn't possible in a freaking there's no I don't know. I wasn't technical enough to figure it out anyway. So I was just like I was up a creek, let's just say, to put it mildly. And
Was this in Melville or was this in Mill Street?
before I moved to Mill Street, because the reason I ever even thought of moving
Because I
to
was
Mill
with you at
Street,
Melville, and I think I vaguely remember you struggling with.
well, that was when I first went to work from home.
Oh,
Was Melville.
okay.
Then I sold my house and then did this whole thing.
Oh, and then
this
you,
whole
you
charade.
lived at the
Lived at
folks'
my,
home.
my home for my folks' home for a bit.
That's
And
I
then
forgot about
there's
that.
this whole thing, of course.
That's where the scramble
The
originated.
scramble originated. No drama. It was just a scramble. It's all good.
Right.
No hard feelings.
Right,
of
nothing
any-
bad. It's
Yeah,
just
nothing bad.
a lot happened all at once.
A lot happened all at once, and I was like, "Oh, I need a place like tonight." All right, okay.
You know what's funny is when you were told that you needed to find
We
a
were
place,
shooting our
we were
first-
shooting a podcast.
That is the funniest thing I can recall.
If
actually,
only because that footage exists somewhere
yeah, it does.
of your mom walking in and telling us
Yeah.
telling you, but I was
Yeah.
present
Right.
for that one.
That was just funny, dude. That's
Yeah.
all I have to say. And then, so then I end up in a hotel. I only checked in for like 2 or 3 nights because I was like, I'm going to try to figure this out in the next 2 days. Well, that turned into like a week because like it just takes a while sometimes to get a hold of different property management companies. And dude, I was just like, I'll take the first thing that's available.
And you took
And I sure
one
did.
of the worst places in Augusta.
Bro, this
It's
place
actually
is
one of the worst
lovingly
places.
known in Augusta as like Drug Avenue.
It's a very strange road. It's a one-way.
It's a one-way on a hill. You're one of the sketchiest hills in Augusta. If you're from Augusta, you'll know. And it's this one way that you're halfway up the hill, you go down this street, and it's like, I'm pretty sure I pulled up to either the walkthrough before I decided or the move-in date. And somebody was like, I'm pretty sure they were shooting up in a minivan that I walked by. I was like, what in the world is happening?
Yeah. Yeah, that's very likely.
And then what is really cool is my lock stopped working. I don't know if you remember that. About a month in. Actually, no.
Man.
Because how long did I live there? I lived there for...
The summer.
Actually, it was for a few months. Yeah, it was
a
for a few
while.
months. So maybe about a month and a half in, my lock stopped working. So I was like... I, like, requested some help. And it never got fixed. So I was just up there with all my crap that I owned.
Oh, and you have fairly valuable stuff. You had your instruments.
Yeah, my instruments were probably the most
Your
valuable
computer
things.
set up for work. Not only could
True,
they
'cause I worked
they
from home, bro.
take your computer, but they could take your means of making money.
Take my work computer. That would be the least of my worries because I would just
At the time, you probably would have felt relief.
I'd be like, well, I probably don't have to work tomorrow. They'll spend the whole
Oh,
day
man.
figuring it out.
That's the grind set right there. Hope it. If they take anything, take my work stuff,
Bro, that's
so I can at least
insane.
have a day off and be able to justify it.
That is not the grind set, bro. But that was my grind set. Anyway, dude. So all right. So the year started with a scramble. Then by the summertime, I was into a hotel for about a week. That week was so expensive, bro.
I can't imagine.
I think it was like $800 for that week. Or that's actually cheap, though. For like, I'm just thinking of like a
you
hotel.
bought in bulk. A bulk of days.
But man, dude. Anyway, I freaking hoteling it, bro. That was crazy. Anyway.
I'm glad you have a semblance of structure in your life now.
Oh yeah.
You have a lot more.
I do have a lot more to lose too.
You got some fat to trim, I guess, but it's better. Sometimes I still think of you as that guy who's a scrambled egg, essentially. But then I think
I feel like a scrambled egg sometimes.
Abe's actually come a long ways, and I'm reminded.
Go on.
No, you have a pretty you have a. Oh no, that's worse than sibilance.
Good. What do I have? Go on about me.
No, you have a consistent work schedule, which you did before,
Very cool.
but
Well, it's also very annoying.
here's what it is. Here,
Go ahead.
I think your job that you have now has actually helped you be more organized. And here is a very explicit occurrence of that. It's your supplements that you take. Because this guy is a trained CRMA, which means he can pass out medications to people.
Certified Residential Medication Aid.
After this guy acquired this skill, this XP points,
My XP was going up.
he bought a
At the Dollar
Mediset-
Tree.
a Mediset where you've probably seen your grandmother or your grandparents have this, where they have their medications Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or AM, PM
Yep.
of each day.
And you better believe I have AM, PM.
And this guy bought one of those because he has not one round of supplements a day. He's got two. Actually, and then
There's more than that. There's PRNs.
then he has the ones he just takes, but he has quite a thorough stack.
You want to go through the stack real quick? Real quick. I mean, it's not a big deal.
I want to see how much I remember.
All right, what's the AM pass?
Oh, I'm not gonna
Stack.
have the. I
There's
know
4, and you probably 'cause-
vitamin D, vitamin C.
Yep.
Those are the easy ones. Almost everyone takes those.
Yep. 2 other ones
You take you take magnesium glycinate at night
at nighttime.
because that's okay. You take turmeric in the morning, but that's a PRN.
That's an as needed. I'll take that 2 or 3 times a day.
Wow, what is it? Vitamin C, vitamin D, milk thistle.
That's a as needed. That's
Oh,
2 or 3
man.
times a day.
You're gonna have to say it. What is it? Your morning zinc.
50 milligrams of zinc, and then I also take 1,200 IU's or milligrams of fish oil,
Right.
omega-3 fish oil. So that's my morning routine. I actually take 10,000 units of vitamin D and 125.
Controversial levels.
Yeah.
But he's been doing it for a while and he's still standing.
Vitamin K2 as well. You have to. They work together, so you don't.
This is not medical advice.
Yeah, this is
Please see your
purely
doctor.
entertainment purposes, or entertainment purposes. Only.
But he is still here. He has
I'm
not
very much
died
still here.
from having 10 grand a day.
Some days 20,000 IU's.
Controversial.
No, it's
But
whatever.
He's the living
And
proof.
then at nighttime,
But seek your doctor's approval.
whatever. At nighttime, I'll take magnesium glycinate, ashwagandha,
Yeah.
and another dose of 2,000 milligrams of vitamin C. Or
Mhm.
units, whatever they are. I don't know if it's milligrams or units.
Okay. So that's pretty solid.
Very much. Okay, you want to go through the as needed ones, or the ones that I don't want to pack them because it would just overflow.
We've already said 2 of them. The milk thistle.
Yep.
We probably won't go into what they're all for.
Milk thistle for your liver to help heal your liver,
I knew that would.
Liver
I
health.
knew that was gonna cue you up
and then
to say what it was
turmeric with the phytonutrient curcumin. Not to be taken without black pepper though. So I straight up be rolling around with a backpack full of this stuff, right?
for. Yeah.
So I got a bottle
Hey.
of turmeric pills, but also
It's
a
good.
bottle of black pepper kernels.
Yeah. Right.
So I'll pop about 5 to 10 of
Do
those
you
in my
crunch 'em?
hand. Dude, no. I don't even taste them. That's why they're kernels,
I
dude.
did it once. I took a turmeric one, the one that you gave me.
Yeah.
And I took it with pepper. I crunched the kernels.
Why?
Tasty.
All right.
It's tasty.
You're
Cretin.
a crazy man. But dude, it's either you take it with something fatty because it's fat soluble, or you take it with black pepper because it increases the bioavailability by like 2,000%. So
Bioavailability.
that's all I'm gonna say about turmeric. It's very good for you. Do your own research though. Then I also take. Yeah, I think that's it.
Just those 2.
And that's it that I take on a regular basis.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is all great, and he's been consistently doing it. And this is one instance of him being not a scrambled egg anymore. He's a hard-boiled egg now. Soft-boiled.
I would be a hard-boiled egg if I did some freaking hit.
And this is exactly what I was about to say. Because it doesn't matter how many supplements, it cannot cover a multitude of sin like exercising can. And this guy will... No, it's
I'm
good.
doing some thumbnails right now.
Oh, yeah, very good. Oh, I better not do that. I better not do that.
All right. Anyway. Yeah.
No, it's no.
So
what was the joke?
supplements will only take you so far.
Right. So
Keep going.
I have heard that diet and supplements can only take you so far.
Diet and supplements?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
I would say diet because you can if you can finagle your diet enough,
Diet is amazing.
you can get pretty much everything you need and not take any supplements.
With the food that we have nowadays,
It's hard.
it's very difficult. And yay, maybe impossible unless you're like your own farmer growing your own stuff. But whatever. All that to say,
Oh, that, it's important. You need to have your diet under wraps.
it's important.
But the exercise will actually is what takes you to another level.
Did you say extra fries? Don't you love that?
I thought you said extra fries. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's 100% right. If you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to just be healthier in general, because you don't
gotta
lose weight to be
exercise.
healthy. You start being healthy and then you lose weight. That's what happens. It's not the other way around, right?
Okay.
So, but yeah, exercise is the biggest thing, and that's what I'm not doing.
I've made offers for him to come to the gym with me. And you know what he said? Because one day I was asking him to come to the gym, and he said, "Miss me with that shit." And
I
I'm
don't
like,
know if I said that.
You didn't. Maybe you didn't say shit, but you said "miss me with that," and that kind of pricked my heart because I'm like, "What do you mean missed you?" I'm sending out an olive branch. I'm sending out something, and like I'm gonna go to the gym with you. We're gonna, it'll be a
Bro.
good time. Miss me with that.
It's like the Drake meme. But
It's stuck. It's that's engraved in my mind, but that's okay.
engraved?
Yeah.
Jeez. Well, let me just say this. All that I need to do is about 5 to 10 minutes of hit per day. Or a couple,
That'll keep you alive.
like 3 or 4 times a week, not even per day. That
Yeah.
will dramatically improve my heart health and overall just do wonders for my everything.
I bet what's keeping you alive, that has been keeping you alive over the last multiple years, is you playing the drums.
I wonder how many calories I burn.
Would you break a sweat?
Almost, yeah, every time.
Yeah, if you're breaking a sweat, and it's a pretty active instrument to play. So I think maybe
Every time.
that's
yeah.
probably what's kept you going. I wouldn't
Dang,
be
dude.
surprised. But
And
imagine
all that to say, everybody go follow Abe Plays Drums on every
Oh, yeah.
social platform.
it's pretty good. He did a cover of Paramore.
What song? Name 3 songs.
I don't know. I actually am not a Paramore guy.
Dude,
But if you are, dear listener, he covers a song.
there's
I
another
don't
one
know.
coming up here. Don't even worry about that.
He's covering Nickelback next. Photograph, right?
Photon. But what was I gonna say? Anyway, playing drums keeps me alive.
Probably does. But then imagine the exponential growth. The good
The
feeling.
swollenness.
No, well, you won't
Your
get swole.
swollenness. Bro, can you imagine instead of your highness or your honor, your swollenness?
That's a good one. That's some 90s humor
I'm
right
gonna
there.
need you to start calling me your swollenness.
No, you're going to call me your swollenness.
Bro, the only thing getting swole is that beard. How long has it been since you shaved
Oh.
it?
That's not true. I've been making muscle gains. I can't show you here.
Oh, please, if you can't show me
Please
here, don't show me at all.
If you're going to show me,
Don't say that also on camera. That's crazy.
No,
That's crazy
I know.
talk. I'm not yeah, anyway.
It's been a couple months, I think.
Of
it's-
doing what?
I was going back to answer this bull crap I have to deal with sometimes. It's been a couple months since I've shaved.
Oh.
You remember what your question was?
Yeah, but we were on the swollenness.
No. Okay, no. This has been, I think, a couple months.
You should keep growing it out and potentially even shave your head. You realize how crazy of a transformation
Well, I
that
know
would be?
my hairline isn't the greatest.
And let me just say, in a year,
So-
when he actually has this look, I want to do this clip edited over the look and do that dramatic Sigma editing.
I probably,
you know what I mean? Music.
yeah, with the funk.
Right.
That's what it's called, the music style. But
Funk?
yeah,
I'm in a funk right now.
no, you're not. You're living. You're living
Just
your
kidding.
life out loud. To cite a lyric from a
Stephen
CTL
Curtis.
song.
Stephen Curtis Chapman also.
Doesn't CTL have a
Yeah,
lyric?
it was in an eradicated song that used to be out there and is no longer.
Well, I was there for it.
Yeah, you
and
were.
I'm gonna cite it.
You're an OG for that one. That's crazy.
I was doing roadie work for you guys. I featured in one of their first concerts when they were just doing mostly cover songs.
That, and you also opened for one a year later or so. Remember that?
Yep, in Ellsworth.
Yeah,
I remember that.
I do remember that too.
And
You
doing
played
songs I wrote.
How He Loves, didn't you play?
Yeah, I did do that. That's right. I mean, I'm not making a face to the song. I'm making a face to me singing it.
Bro,
Then.
John Mark, there's something about him, man. He's so hipster and cool.
Hipster's not cool. Hipster ruined the 20 teens.
Oh my God, dude. That's not what I mean. What I mean is the actual term of hipster. Like, he just does his own thing, and it's cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's one of the only Christian artists I'll still listen to.
He's cool. I'll say that.
Here's what's funny. There's two Christian artists I still listen to. And one is John Mark McMillan, and one is Kevin Prosh.
Oh, I thought you were going to say our band.
Oh.
Which is crazy that you didn't say that, actually. Let me just comment on that real quick.
Fake fan. Fake friend. Fake everything.
Actually, you probably do listen to it when I'm playing it back on the JBL for a JBL test.
Yeah. There's been I've heard a many CTL demo that way.
Anyway, Kevin Prosh, huh?
Yeah.
The
Bless the
Proshinator.
Lord. Is it Bless the Lord?
Praise the Lord.
Oh, wow.
That's our song, Bless the Lord.
Super fake fan.
Crazy.
Wow. Plug.
We'll play it right here.
Praise the Lord. Live. I don't know live where. It's the first thing that comes up if you search Kevin Prosh, Praise the Lord. It's over 10 minutes.
Oh, it's like 15, 20, right?
Yeah, no. Oh, that's right.
It's like 19 minutes.
It's close to 20 minutes. It's usually a whole drive from my house to Augusta. And I've planned it that way. It's like, okay, I can get one Bless the Lord in.
Praise the Lord. God.
And there's I don't know what it is.
I know what it is.
It's what's inspired all the spontaneous worship that's common in charismatic churches these days. I think a lot of that came from
Prosh.
him. And this video, if you for some reason wanted to search this, which I recommend.
It's so groovy.
To
borrow a term from the 70s?
It was, I think this video is from the 90s.
No, but groovy.
Oh, right.
Anyway.
I'd hate to use this word. It has a vibe.
Let me say what it is. What it actually is.
Kevin Prosh is
It's the anointing. It's the anointing. It's got the oil. It's got the oil of God. Sorry, it just sounded like I was constipated just then. It didn't sound like I was a preacher.
Most of it's improvised over the probably what they rehearsed, a chord progression, a song that they did, because the first multiple minutes is just Kevin. Yeah, first name basis. He's
playing a seashell. He's playing
I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that.
What's all right?
I'm getting to that.
Get it quicker.
It's a
Sorry.
it's a weave. It's a weave.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's the amalgamation of a lot of talent on the stage, and they know what they're doing. Kevin Prosh, Mr. Prosh, knows what he's doing. He's a good singer.
Very
he's
good.
Good spontaneous singer. And he's doing. What are you doing? Get off.
So back to Kevin Prosh and the seagull.
He ends up, and this is controversial. Some people might think this is weird, and it was when I first watched it. But then,
having a illicit affair with Misty Edwards?
Did they?
Years later?
Good for them. Misty
Shouldn't have
Edwards.
said that, but I did. Here we are.
I'd have an affair.
Oh my! What?
All right. Hey, I don't
All
have
right.
constituents. You got constituents.
Michael,
I'm just a
go
free
ahead.
bird.
So, what was controversial?
It's not
Yet
controversial.
brave.
He played a seashell. He blew into a seashell.
Seashell?
A seashell. And at first, it's like, oh, this is quirky at best. But then it's like he actually plays a melody in it.
Yeah.
That's one of the best melodies over the chord progression that's going on. It's just a great resolution.
It moves under, like, over the chords, and dude, it's so good. And it has like some reverb on it, and it's like.
There is a vein where the gold is hidden, and those that open up their hearts and let their desires fall to the wayside. Oh, there is the path to where the gold is hidden.
It just hits you.
So there's this angelic melody, and I'll go back
Yeah,
over this
I've done
part
this.
a few times, but then after this angelic melody, he into the seashell
Play
he
it.
goes, just like blowing into it, just like that, just like that. Hopefully that peaked and sound awful. And that's a little bit, all right, that's there. That's a thing that he does. But
Yeah.
I accept it after him just giving us one of my favorite melodies I've ever heard.
Yeah.
And so
Over the 4/6, and he's hitting the floor
Right.
note. That was uncalled for. I shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry.
no, but it can encapsulate.
No, it's so bad.
And you know, there's one other person out there that might be watching this who enjoys this and actually saw this before we did.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, way before. I didn't know who Kevin Prosh was.
I actually did. My dad had Kevin Prosh CDs. I didn't know who it was.
Sure.
But my dad had a Kevin Prosh CD, and I knew his music when I was like 4 or 5.
Prosh is the boss, is what they say. They don't say that.
Anyway, how the heck did we get here? How did we?
That's another throwback.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway.
Okay, here we go. This is where I wanted to talk about tonight. Speaking of throwbacks, so lately, there's been this viral song. I can't remember the guy who sings it, but it's a parody
Running
song.
up that hill?
No, it's a parody song. I can't remember the artist, but it's been putting in a lot of memes and reels, TikToks. But the song is called "We Are Young,"
Oh, yeah.
and it's a parody of
Of
the
every
stomp,
millennia-
clap, yell songs that came out between 2011 and 2016.
What a grand, crazy, ridiculous 5 years.
It was a good 5 years.
I was just saying that. Like, as cringy as it all sounds, there's something sweet about it. I don't know why.
It's wholesome. I can see
Like,
why
it is
it's
very
why it's
cringe.
cringe.
Yeah, obviously. I can see why it's cringe. But, like, I just remember there was some songs. It was like the Philip Phillipses, the Mumford & Sons got really big in that era, I think.
Fun.
Oh, yeah.
They're not
They
the
started-
folk. They're not the folk, but they have
No,
a
but
song
tonight-
called "We Are Young."
Well, yeah. No, but they did sound like that. That beginning of tonight was like.
Right. That's right.
My story straight.
Yeah, right.
Anyway,
Yeah, Mumford and Sons,
Mumford & Sons, Philip Phillips,
Lumineers.
Andy Grammer, maybe a little bit even.
I think the Lumineers took the cake. They were one of the most played.
Yeah.
Then there was
Oh, of course.
Then
yeah.
there was a song. Ooh, ooh, tonight's gonna be the best day of my
God,
life.
I actually hated
Now
that.
that was not good. That was a bad one.
I don't know why that is a Coles.
There was a One Republic song too.
Yes, I lived.
Yeah. There was
Which
that.
I low key I like that song. I'm not gonna ever.
You FW
on.
with that one.
I'm not gonna ever hate on Ryan Tedder of One Republic.
I know.
Except for, let me just say this. Can I say this? This is crazy.
We're here for it.
I love Ryan Tedder of One Republic, okay?
Great producer.
Amazing. One of the best. Prolific songwriter. Amazing producer. What the heck is Counting Stars?
Oh.
And how is that like one of the biggest songs on YouTube for a band ever?
I don't know,
did you
dude.
realize that?
I've met someone who unironically likes that song. I met someone that likes that song.
I thought it was the corniest thing ever when I first heard it. And I still kind of do. I'm like,
I never liked it.
I still don't like it. I don't understand how that has. It's got. Let me look it up right now because I'm very curious about
In
this.
the meantime, so the music is just upbeat,
Sorry, dude.
positive, hopeful.
Right.
Not all of it. I think Mumford and Sons
What
could
was I
tap
looking
into
for?
some darker subjects. They probably all did. The song "Fun," "We Are Young," I think that isn't like a very celebratory song. That's like kind of a how's it go? What's the phrase? We ball type song.
What was Tonight We Are Young?
Yeah.
So
by
like to
Fun.
set the world on fire. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like Sia's Chandelier, where it's
Right.
not celebrating the fact that she's a party.
Dang.
It's like we're just gonna live it up and then be hungover
Mhm.
tomorrow, but we're gonna have fun.
Which
Get it?
everyone loves that. You
So
know.
I think the people that are critiquing some of the songs and the times are kind of like missing. I don't know. I think some of it's kind of almost satire,
Sure.
even in its own time. But then again, I don't want to use the word ironic because millennials are known for loving ironic things.
Yeah.
But I think that's a human
unironically.
right. I think that's a human thing. But the millennials, I know we took it
I'm
too
too
far.
many ironies deep at this point to know whether I'm unironic or ironic.
Just
Anyway, you know what's crazy
You
is
found it,
Counting
you found it.
Stars has 4.1 billion views on YouTube. The music video. 4.1 billion. I think that's maybe the biggest of any band. Band, not artist. Like band on YouTube.
Oh, right.
Because I remember Girls Like You by Maroon 5 was huge as
How many
well.
does that have?
3.8 billion.
Okay.
Bro, do you remember? So I remember when it was like,
I remember when.
yes, I remember when I lost my mind. But also I remember when 2012 I was working construction. And at the time, Justin Bieber had the biggest, with Baby by Justin Bieber, was the biggest video on YouTube.
Featuring Ludacris.
Featuring Luda. Had like 1 billion something views on YouTube, right? And this was after, God, when did he put it out? This was a few years into after he put it out. It accumulated and he got 1 billion. That was the biggest video on YouTube. And then remember I don't know where he's from. I'm going to get it wrong and look stupid. Korean?
Gangnam Style.
Gangnam Style. Just
Psy.
within the first like 4 months, he had 2 billion views,
I
which was
remember
like
when that
double.
was huge. Now a lot of videos have billions of views, but that was big then.
That was, oh my God, it was you couldn't escape it.
Oh yeah, at school,
You know what it probably
everyone
was?
singing it and doing the dance.
Although, it probably, nah, I don't know, dude. I was about to make a crazy claim that it was the kids, like the kid YouTube was just like crazy about it, but it was kind of, the words weren't very kid friendly though.
Yeah. Oh.
Hey, sexy lady. I mean, it's not
Oh.
that crazy, but it's like, you know what I mean?
I guess that's not. I guess that's
Although Justin Bieber
PG.
was like 13 at the time, so he wasn't that out there either.
No, that I think, and the video, if I remember right, the music video really encapsulated how a lot of not just music videos were, but how YouTube music videos were.
You mean Baby by Justin Bieber?
Oh no,
Or
sorry, I'm
Gangnam
talking
Style.
about Gangnam Style.
Oh, okay. I can't remember that video
No,
really.
that Justin
I just
Bieber's
remember
song.
them like doing the dance, like riding
no,
a horse
That was
or whatever.
that was a product of the time.
Oh my
I was
God.
pretty.
I had so many friends that were
I watched
just
a lot of YouTube videos then.
unironically into it.
Musician like Rhett and Link. It reminded me of a Rhett and Link music video, which I don't know if you.
Rhett and Link make music?
Yeah, that was their thing.
I didn't know that.
No.
All I know of them is just them being
Between-
crazy.
Between when they started their YouTube channel in like 2007.
They made music?
Yes,
I guess like
They probably
Jimmy
still
Fallon
do.
made music too.
they still. I think they probably still put out music videos that
That's
they make.
so funny.
And they were like not parodies, but they were silly songs.
Well, that makes sense because that's their brand is silly.
And Gangnam Style's music video kind of went with that.
Okay.
And I don't know. It really felt like it was a part of the time. And that was
Sure was. It was like 2012, I think.
that was it. That was a good time. It was a good time to be alive.
I guess it was. It's hard to know sometimes, depending on your personality. Like if you have a
Now, was I a miserable?
no, I'm talking about
Teen-
myself.
Well,
Because sometimes I can be like I'm bubbly in public, but then when I'm by myself, man, this is getting really deep, but out of nowhere. Because you were saying it was a great time to be alive, but I never really know that it is when I'm living it. You know what
Sure.
I mean?
right now is a great time to be alive. Right, that's people might not agree with that, but I am the happiest I've ever been in my life.
It's because of that hit workout, bro.
Maybe
The swollenness.
I don't know. Right, this is make right now the best time to be alive. That's pretty cringy to say.
What
like
did you
that.
just say?
Make
No, okay. I was hoping you didn't say that.
I did say it, and I'll say it again. Make this era, this epoch, this eon, a great time to be alive. I don't know. Maybe I've just lucked out, but the last couple years, since 2022, I think, I've been on a steady increase of having a pretty good. Everything seems to be working,
That's cool.
and it's not without effort. So
Yeah.
I'm like right now, the last few years, I've been the happiest I've ever been.
Well, that's good. That's really good.
2021, which I'll harken back a second ago.
Sure.
2021 was one of the worst years of my life. It wasn't bad. It's like I made it bad in my head by just getting in my head about problems I was having that weren't really problems.
Isn't that
I was just depressed.
Isn't that most everything though? Like every bad thing that happened.
Not for the people in the
Okay.
gulag.
Yeah, let me break this down a little bit. Maybe not for everybody. Maybe not for the people in the Gaza Strip right now, but like when you're in your head, it's a pretty rough place to be sometimes, you know.
Yeah, it's a
and,
war zone in there.
I mean, bro, some days you
Wow.
barely make it out alive. And some days
It's actually pretty profound.
I struggled to show up here today.
Right now,
Today.
you struggle to show up.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. To deal with this guy.
Oh, it wasn't nothing to do with that.
It's just a boomer joke.
But now that I'm here, I'm having a great time. You know, it's how it always works. I don't know what it is with me. Like I always dread things that I have to do. I can't like I'm like this freaking thing I gotta do. Like freaking A. I can't get out of it either. Well, that sucks.
Yeah, I understand. I'm like that.
And then I'll show up and it's like, all right, well that was good. That was good. It was
I'm glad
fun.
you're having a good time right now.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're
I'm-
enjoying
I'm-
talking to me.
I'm pulling back the curtain on my inner man. You know, shoot, you said something a minute ago that I wanted to comment on, and I can't remember what it was.
Being in your head. 2021 being a bad year.
Oh, maybe it was it. I had a couple thoughts. Well, because I never really finished out the year talking about what all happened.
Oh.
It was just a crazy year because
Yeah, even
Yeah.
around when you're getting married, that was a scramble too.
because
Twice you moved.
one I moved. Oh my God, yeah.
And I
God.
helped him twice.
You know what, Michael? You'll never.
I'm
I'll never
putting on an
repay ya.
act. I'm
I'll
putting
never
on an act.
repay
You
ya.
have repaid me because I've eaten so much of your food. It's stupid. I've eaten so much of your food. It's actually a sin. It's a crime.
Well, you're just making up for all the moving that we did for
making up
2021.
for the times I helped you,
God.
your espoused, move.
Because here's what happened. I moved into the Mill Street apartment,
right.
which was hell for like 2 or 3 months. And then about a month before I got married, no, like 2 weeks before I got married,
You moved into
I moved into a different apartment, which I only lived in for not even 30 days. Because I just, like, the week after I got married, I closed on a property. And then we moved in there, like,
Oh yeah.
probably
okay.
a week or two
Moved
after.
pretty quick.
Yeah, it was so like.
I like that apartment too. That
Which
was
one?
The one that you only were in.
For like 30 days.
Yeah,
Or 2 weeks.
it was
4
not
weeks.
a good area. There was a kid downstairs, a teenage, 12, 13, smoking a cigarette.
That was
Down at the bottom floor. He's like, I'll tell you who the people you gotta watch out for here.
dude.
You
That
gotta
was
watch out for those in 4-2, and something like that. And it was a kid with a cigarette, and I'm like, God, this is way out there.
But it wasn't as bad as where I'd come from.
That's true. I never
You said
saw
it was
any.
a bad street, but it wasn't. It weren't that bad.
No, because people weren't just smoking cigarettes over there; they were smoking pipes,
God, I don't know
and
what
not
was
just
happening.
tobacco pipes.
Bro, can I tell you this little story? Let me tell you a quick story
Let's do it.
about that time that I lived on that one-way street in the worst part of Augusta. Dude, I think it was like day 2 that I was living there. So there was this door. You would come up. I hate it. There was this. I think it was on level 3 or 2.
I think you were on the 3rd floor.
So let's say I was on the 3rd floor. There were these people. This is a tangent, but there were these people that didn't do anything except sit on the porch, and I'd have to walk around them every time I'd hey, how's it going?
How's it going?
Hey. And then go up to my room, and
What was their dog's name?
I don't remember.
I'll see if I remember. Keep going.
Anyway, so you'd go in the front door, and then it was a small apartment. It was a 1-bedroom. But there was this door right off the kitchen that I didn't know what it went to. I just thought it was like, I don't know. I'd never opened it, so I just didn't know what it went to. And I think the property manager probably told me when he walked me through, but I was like, it was basically off limit. Like, I didn't go there. Well, dude, I get woken up I think I move in like Thursday or Friday. I get woken up like Saturday morning. Somebody knocking on the door, and I'm like, what the? Who would be knocking on the door? I'm already annoyed. I get up, no one's at the front door, and I hear the knocking at the other door that is off the kitchen, and I'm like, what is this?
It's a portal to the nether.
Yeah, I was like, all right, what is about to who and why and what and where, And I cracked the door open, and it's none other than one of the toothless people from downstairs.
Toothless.
Bro, there's
That's
this
true.
inside
Oh, is it an inside stairwell?
interior stairwell.
Oh,
And she's like, "Hey, can I what did she say?" She was like,
remind me what time of day this was?
I don't know, 9 in the morning or something.
Okay.
But on a Saturday, I was like chilling. I don't know, 8:30, something like that. And she's like asked to like hang out, and I was like, nah, I'm probably not. And then she
Wow. You never told me this story.
or
If
she
you did, I don't remember.
I don't know if she asked to hang out. She's like, I'm trying to make some friends. You want to hang out? I'm like, well, I'm kind of busy. Or
What do you do?
I
in a
don't can't
situation
remember
like
what I
that?
said. But then I'll never forget. She immediately says, "Well, I'm looking for a toaster. If you find one, can you let me know? Like, can you like help me get a toaster?" And I absolutely crap you not. I looked down, and so stuff is still in boxes because I barely moved in. I looked down
This
right,
toaster.
right next to the door. There's a freaking toaster
Did
in
she
a
see it?
box. I hope not. I hope she did. You know what? I hope she
At
did.
this point,
And
at this
she's
point,
like,
yeah.
do you know, like, have any? She's like, do you know anyone who has an extra toaster? I'm looking for a toaster. I'm like, nah. I'm like, but
Wasn't-
I'll let you know. And I was like, all right, see ya.
Wasn't there another time at Mill Street where someone came up to us while we were outside, but about to go somewhere, and they said, "Hey, do you have a spare wheelchair?" Remember that?
Kind of.
There was more to it to that. I have forgotten since then. But
Bro,
someone was asking for a
guarantee
wheelchair.
Somebody was trying to, like, prove that they were disabled in a court of law. Or to get some disability or something.
After watching through Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, that you would think that.
Jeez, they're just like,
No,
I need a wheelchair. I need to show up in a wheelchair. It's like, dude, no, I have no idea. But yes, I do
just get some
vaguely remember
crutches
that.
like a real one.
Right.
You know?
Just crawl in there like a real
Might
one.
be too on the nose.
But anyway, dude, that was ridiculous. That was a crazy couple months, dude. But anyway, I say all that to say,
It was a
then I
crazy
got
year.
married.
Yeah.
Which was a highlight,
It's good.
obviously. And then
a
6
good
days
time.
later, it was fun.
It was a
And then-
good wedding.
On the 15th, which was like 6 days later, I think, I closed on a property. Amazing.
That's great.
Bought a house. Well,
Still
a
own
couple
it.
apartments. Yeah, still own it. Spent great. Lived there for about 2-3 years. I don't know. Doesn't matter. And then, like a week later, I go to Hawaii for like 5-6 days. And that was awesome. I mean, Hawaii is a different planet. You've been there.
Yes. Yeah. And that place we were burned to the ground, crisped.
Oh, man. That is
Maui.
so crazy.
That whole
The
whole
Sheridan
place.
in Lahaina, right?
That's so funny that's all gone.
That's
That's wild.
That's I
Because
can't
I
even
remember
imagine.
romping around there, walking
That
around
was
the
a
beach.
beautiful place. That was so nice.
This is another tangent because we've almost reached where you're going with this. But you get back from Hawaii,
Shoot.
and then you moved again. That's when we moved. You moved like the third time.
Well, no,
In a year.
I moved into 50 High Street. The
Right.
new
we
new
already.
place.
Oh, we already got there. Wow, I'm behind.
That's okay. I mean, it all happened like within 2 weeks.
It's such a scramble. I
That was
lost
a
track.
very big scramble. Because I was like, okay, I'm getting married, but then my closing date is 6 days later. But also, I've got this trip like the next day.
Yeah, okay.
So
Yeah, wow.
after I get back from the trip, then we'll move. So that was a wild time. It was a lot of living out of suitcases for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, and I feel like you never really moved into 50 High Street.
That's a crazy thing to say because I lived there for
Because it just seemed like
2 years.
I didn't like visiting the house.
I didn't like going home.
Right. And
I was
although
home
I
all the
was there,
time 'cause I worked
came
from
and
home.
I visited you all the time. Almost
Yeah,
no
you
one else
did.
visited you.
Yeah, because I was in my filth.
Yeah, no, I guess so. It was not enough room for all your guys' stuff, and it was
Oh, we had
dark.
so much stuff. And it was dark.
That's why I say you never really moved in because you never put away all your stuff. and a lot of people don't put away all this stuff, but you really, it just felt like things weren't taken care of.
Well, my couch was on the floor. I had a $6 couch from Goodwill.
That's right.
Which was awesome. I thought it was awesome. $6 couch from Goodwill. You
Uh,
can't beat it.
If it was bigger, you had less stuff, and it was well lit, it
Yeah.
would have been a lot better.
I do remember my wife really not liking it there, which is a bummer. But
Well,
we're in
all
a
of
better place
us-
now.
all the people involved in being in that place felt that way. And then you moved into the new place, and that place is great.
Pretty cool.
Yep, that's great. And
For
you've been
now.
there for a couple years.
Yeah.
2023, right?
Yeah,
Spring
I think
of 2023?
so. No, July of 2023.
Oh, okay.
So we're coming up on 2 years.
And I
That's
helped him move then too.
crazy.
That was 3 moves I helped this
Oh
man
my
with.
god! And I vow to never move that mattress again.
That mattress. Oh, that mattress.
And a couch that we never got upstairs.
Right, we tried to move a couch up that
Oh
got
my
stuck. I was
God,
pissed
dude.
that night.
Oh, I know.
I was soaked. It was raining.
I was too, but I was like trying not to do anything more over the top to piss you off even further. I was pissed, but I could tell you were really pissed because it was raining too. It was raining, dude.
And I wasn't. I just felt like, man, why did I agree to this? I need more friends. I need more friends like that woman, your neighbor. I had some more friends. I want to hang out. I need some more friends because
Bro,
it's
if you
like
find a toaster, you can have a friend.
because when you call me up and ask for something, like, I got no one else to attend to, and so I'll post up. But
That's a great friend. Thank you.
The only
I
reason why I'm
appreciate
a
it.
great friend is because I don't have very many friends. Because you're getting all of me, you know, like the song says, all of you. Oh man, that's not
By Kevin Praj.
no.
By Marcus Aurelius.
That's a pull. That's a great pull.
Yeah, he pulls.
Hey, what time is it?
It's 8:54.
How long have we been shooting?
Not quite an hour.
Okay.
5 or 10 more minutes.
I guess we can keep. I guess
I
we
mean,
can
we
say
don't
a few
have
more
to.
things about 2021 because that was a pivotal year for me.
Me too. I mean, I listed three things.
We haven't even gotten into me.
Go ahead.
There isn't really much to say. I think
It was the lowest year of your life, you said.
I just
Are you sure it was the lowest year of your life?
It was
Because
one of
I
them.
remember growing up with you when all you wanted was
to go to war in Iraq and die.
to go to Iraq and die.
I wasn't. That wasn't that. But yeah, that was pretty rough during those times. I was depressed pretty bad during those years. But there was times when it was bad. In 2021, specifically August through October, were pretty bad. Aside from that, another really bad year was 2014. The summer of 2014 was another one of the worst summers.
You know what would have broken your depression back then?
Hit training, good diet, and sleep.
I was about to say you just needed to win some wrestling matches. Make you feel more dominant.
I guess so. I think one of the things that's made my life pretty much better in the last couple years is being consistent with eating well,
With hitting the
sleeping
gym
well,
and hitting the club.
and going to the gym and exercising. That I tried.
hitting the
hey,
club?
I'm gonna be real transparent. I even tried antidepressants, and since I've gotten off them, I've been fine. Actually, I've been better.
Well, that's
I
cool.
think mostly it's just been those three things, just
What is it,
taking care of my
sleep?
health.
Yeah, that makes a huge difference, man.
I think it's some mindset stuff too in there,
Sure.
but I actually don't think that's
Grind set.
even. I don't even think that's priority. I think priority is, for me, has been just getting.
Your actual
healthy.
physiological state.
I think that's been the main thing. What's also helped though, another thing that's helped out a lot is I haven't worked much. I think that's a big thing because I worked.
Oh my God.
I worked
Dude,
hard for 9 years at Sam's Club, and I hated every minute. And then every time I've worked full time has been not great times. So I'm in a very, very particular and peculiar situation where I can afford to not work so much, which is pretty exclusive to me.
and your lifestyle.
And I'm very frugal,
Yeah.
cheap, but I'm very frugal.
As you will
and-
notice, because he's worn this exact
Oh yeah,
jacket and maybe
I've had this for years, and I wear it almost every day.
which is crazy talk.
I've had
I mean,
this
he
shirt.
does wash it.
Got at like Target on sale,
I will say, if you didn't wash
Walmart.
it, I wouldn't be friends with you.
Goodwill.
Sorry, I didn't mean to say that.
No, you don't. I don't. I'll be all right. I'm a living Goodwill clothing rack.
Dude, that's awesome.
And I cook
Ask me where I got every piece of clothing.
Temu,
No.
H&M.
Although
That was a long time ago. You were an H&M guy.
I got this from a friend. My hat
Right. Okay.
repping Paula's in Boston.
Okay.
Very cool. I got this from Walmart. Dude, I don't know how many comments and compliments I've gotten on this watch. It's crazy. It was like $12 at Walmart, right? My wedding band, which I love, and it fits me better than any of the wedding bands I've ever had.
From your previous marriages?
No, from the ones I've lost because
no.
I'm so bad, and I take it off quite often just throughout the day. Like anyway, it's a lot. It's just a little OCD thing that I have. But now I
It is a
got
good
this for
watch.
$1
Looks nice.
on Temu. It's the one Temu thing that I'm wearing. Then I got these jeans. They're Madewell jeans, but I got them from Martin's. They were like $30. It's a great deal.
Actually, it's not the cheapness of the. It's how frequently you buy things. Because even if things
Yeah.
are cheap, if you keep buying more and more stuff,
correct.
that's what it is. It isn't that. It isn't that what I'm wearing is cheap. It's
Dude,
that it's the same stuff I've worn for 2 or 3 years.
I got this shirt from Rennie's. Anyone know Rennie's?
A main adventure.
For like $4. I think it's awesome. I can't remember where I got this jacket. I've had it for a couple years. Anyway, all that to say, I got this necklace. I think either on Temu or Shein.
We're gonna have a clothing haul.
It's my haul, dude.
It's gonna
I got
turn
it for
into a
like
clothing
$2.
haul channel.
But this necklace I wear so much, it's crazy.
That's true. You do wear that a lot.
Anyway,
I don't really notice. I never really have noticed your watch because I don't really care much about watches.
I get so
I
many
don't care.
compliments.
I don't care much about anything I wear, which has not always been the case because I won Best Dressed in my senior year at college. But that was a very vain time. But since over the years I've become more like pretty soon I'll just be wearing the dad New Balance sneakers, which are cool now, actually. But for a long time we would make fun of people who would wear those really gaudy looking New Balance.
Kanye made him cool.
Thanks,
Kanye
Kanye.
can make a lot of things cool, but he.
Including swastikas. But I
was waiting for you to say that.
So I'll wrap up 2021. So I'll wrap up what turned my life around.
And you can too.
No, everyone's different. You have to find your own thing that's going to turn you around.
Well, that's
I'm
not gonna
just sharing.
That's not gonna get hits.
No, it's not. But it's.
I'm just kidding.
Everyone's different.
I'm not kidding, but go ahead.
I do believe a lot in taking care of your health is the biggest first step. I think when I worked at some mental health group homes, I bet the majority, I would bet, and I'm not a betting man, but I would bet a lot of those people's lives would turn around if they just stopped eating crap. I saw the food that they would eat.
You talking about the residents or the staff?
I'm talking about both.
But yeah,
That's true. I'm thinking particularly about the residents that had a lot of mental health problems, but they did not take care of their health at all. They had whack sleep schedules. One in particular,
yeah.
awful sleep schedule, awful diet. A lot of them smoked.
A lot of them have awful diets,
I think
and it's
It
not.
wouldn't
And it's
cover-
not because of the staff are feeding them that.
no, it's their a lot of it's
They're
their
by
choice,
their own, you know.
and they have their own free will and will to do that, and they can do that. It's not. It wouldn't cure some of their illnesses completely,
Sure,
but
sure.
it would probably get them on a trajectory that would be
Better.
ideal.
Yeah. And I will say, I was going to say, there's a fine line, a very gray area. I don't know if I should say this, but between staff and residents sometimes, dude. Oh my God.
Your first day at one place,
I
you thought
did
a
not,
you thought a
I thought a
coworker.
staff member was a resident. and I didn't know for a couple weeks because I didn't really work with them that much. Our schedules like didn't overlap very much. So like I was brand new too. So I didn't know. Oh my god, I can still remember.
I know who they are,
Of course you do.
and they would be a resident. They would be.
They had as
One of
much
the worst
self-awareness.
coworkers
They had
I've ever
as
had.
much self-awareness as Kanye has love for the Jews.
What a pull!
No,
What a pull
it
of an
was-
analogy.
Zero. Bro, okay, so I was getting a tour on day 2. You do orientation and like a bunch of trainings your first day. You do a couple more trainings the second day, and then they send you to your program. Right? So it's like a few more hours left in the day. So I go over to my program. First of all, I don't know anything about anything. I don't know who, like, all I know is I think my manager. And I don't know anything else. I barely know the address for the program. They give me that by some fluke. I was like,
On accident.
where is the place that I'm going to be working, by the way? Like, and they're like, oh yeah, here's the address. I was like, all right. I pull up, and so like the senior, I think at the time, was like walking me around, kind of giving me a tour. I think they were saying who's a resident and who's not, but of course everything's new. So everything's new. So I'm just like, I don't know anything about this field in general, because this is my first job in mental health. So I'm just like, all right. And never mind. I'll save that thought. But everything's new. And they're like, and this is this person. This is this person. They're one of the residents here. They're in room, whatever. And then we go around to the living room. There's this dude that's, I'm not kidding you. This is him on his phone. And so
I don't
they're
want
like,
to say anything else that identifies him.
No. I won't say anything else, but won't say his name. But they're like, and this is this person. So I'm like, hey, thought he was a resident. Because what staff would be curled up
in the
on
fetal position.
Yeah, on the resident couch.
With their phone.
Yeah, on their phone, like I don't even know if they said. Well, the other thing was I don't think they responded to like the hi. You know what I mean? Because like other staff would like introduce themselves. Hey, how's it going? Yeah,
Being a pro.
Yeah.
Even the
just being
residents would be
sure.
Be pretty.
Well, some
sweet.
of them.
I know
you
not
know.
all of them, but there are some that were real sweethearts.
Yeah, of course. Great. Yeah. This freaking guy. I don't like. I went. Oh hey. And I don't think he said anything. And so I thought he was a resident, dude. Until there was a spat in the staff office one day, including him and another coworker, and I was like, the bells were like, oh
Wait, that's when you
he's
knew?
a staff member.
You found out he was a staff when he had some comeuppance with another
Yeah,
staff.
he was on second shift and I was on first shift, and like he came in.
And he would be one to have comeuppance.
Yeah, of course. Anyway, dude, it was just so freaking fun. I was like, the wheels turned, and I was like, oh wow, okay, so he's a staff member. Well, that makes sense because I haven't seen him here.
Universally disliked by everyone who I ever talked
It's
to.
crazy,
about.
man.
It's too bad.
It
you
is
know
too
what?
bad.
God loves him.
Yeah, it's all
And
good,
I don't
dude.
even know if I believe in God, but God loves him. And God love him.
Yeah, of course. I'm not wishing ill on anyone. I'm just saying
We wish him well.
I wish him well. On your way, but that's all I'm gonna say about that. But all that to say, there's such a fine line sometimes between like in this job between like staff and resident. I'm like, dude,
In the mental health field.
yeah. And this job makes me think some days like, man, we're all like one traumatic
Yep.
event or experience
I've heard
or
that many times and thought that many times.
away from being.
If you come
Somewhere
out of
like
working
that.
if you come out of working there thinking that you've learned what you need to learn. And that's that.
It gives me a lot of empathy for
You
people.
never know what your breaking point is before you actually have a psychotic break.
However, you can do everything in your power to be as healthy as you can.
You can do some preventative measures.
Right. I'm not saying like, you can prevent all mental illness.
No, you
That's not
can't.
what I'm saying.
But you can
What I'm saying-
decrease the probability.
Of like certain things
psychotic-
like of depression,
Oh, for sure.
anxiety, and stuff like that. You can definitely do some things to move the needle. Certainly, people are predisposed to things like in the womb and get things from their parents, but you can do a lot, like you said, with exercise,
Oh,
the
man.
proper diet, getting enough sleep,
I'd preach it to the day I die.
getting enough hydration, eating, diet, whatever. I mean, I don't do enough. I'll be the first one to admit that. But I do try a little bit, at least a little bit. As long as you are aware of it.
Yeah, and that'll come back to right where we started. And that you're not a scrambled egg anymore. You've made progress.
As long as you're aware of it.
Right.
That's the first step.
Being self-aware.
Yeah.
You know what? That's probably a good place to end. It's been about an hour.
Yeah. Just be aware of yourself and your
Yeah.
surroundings. And try to have love and empathy for people.
Right.
Or not. It's your own life. Do what you want. I'm not telling you anything that... I'm not telling you anything. Let's end there.
Okay. See you next time.